What if SpongeBob never actually made it out of rock bottom? You know that episode from season 1? The one where SpongeBob and Patrick go to Glove World, take the wrong bus, and end up in that weird underground place? Well, rock bottom keeps showing up throughout the series, and every single time, something's different. The people act different, the rules change. Even SpongeBob himself doesn't seem to remember what happened before. Some fans call it the tidal zone, basically a glitch in reality that's been hiding under Bikini Bottom this whole time. And if they're right, we might have been watching a completely different version of SpongeBob for over 20 years. Let me take you back to where it all started. Season 1, SpongeBob and Patrick just had a great day at Glove World. They're on the bus heading home, SpongeBob's got his balloon gloves, everything's perfect. But then SpongeBob accidentally keeps hitting the bus driver in the face with his balloons. Patrick doesn't have exact change. The driver gets annoyed. Instead of going to Bikini Bottom, the bus takes them somewhere else. A sign flashes by the window, rock bottom. Right away you can tell this place is wrong. The fish here make these weird raspberry sounds instead of talking normally. The bathroom signs look like alien symbols. Everyone just looks off. Not scary exactly, but unsettling. Patrick somehow catches a bus home right away. No problem. But SpongeBob, every time he almost gets on a bus, it leaves without him. He waits in line for hours only to get cut by a baby fish. He tries to communicate with the bus driver, but the guy can't understand him unless SpongeBob makes those raspberry noises. Then it gets dark, really dark. SpongeBob's alone in what they call advanced darkness when this anglerfish shows up. But instead of being mean, the anglerfish ties SpongeBob's balloon to his arm, inflates it, and sends him floating back to Bikini Bottom. For years, everyone just thought it was a weird episode. Maybe it was about being lost in a foreign place. Maybe it was about language barriers. But something felt different about it compared to other episodes. The timing was off, the way every escape attempt failed, the silent hostility of the whole place. And here's the thing nobody could explain. Why did that bus driver take them there in the first place? After season 1, rock bottom just disappeared. No mentions, no callbacks, nothing. For 17 years, it was like the place never existed. Then season 10 happened. Out of nowhere, rock bottom came back. But this time, everything was different. The episode started with Squidward, not SpongeBob. Mr. Krabs thinks Squidward's paintings would be worth more if Squidward wasn't around anymore, so he sends him on dangerous delivery routes. One of those deliveries goes to rock bottom. When Squidward gets off the bus, it looks exactly the same as before. Same weird symbols, same creepy silence, same raspberry-speaking locals. But then SpongeBob shows up, and he's not scared at all. When Squidward freaks out, SpongeBob just smiles and says, "They're not monsters, they're my friends." Suddenly, all the locals are friendly. They're having a party, wearing hats, dancing around. The anglerfish from season 1 is there too, but now he's just celebrating with everyone else. It was the first time SpongeBob openly admitted he'd been to rock bottom before, and it made the season 1 episode look completely different. Maybe the locals were never hostile, just misunderstood. Maybe the anglerfish wasn't chasing SpongeBob, but trying to help him. For a moment, it seemed like rock bottom wasn't a trap at all, just a weird town with terrible public transportation. But then season 11 happened, and everything fell apart. SpongeBob and Patrick are stuck at Glove World after closing time. They're hungry and looking for a way home when Patrick spots something weird. The Krusty Krab is open at night. SpongeBob knows this is wrong. There's no night shift. He's the only fry cook. Mr. Krabs never mentioned anything about staying open late, but they go in anyway. It's not the real Krusty Krab. The whole crew is different. Weird fish that look more like they belong in rock bottom than Bikini Bottom. There's a cashier named Squith Ed, some blobfish running the kitchen, and scattered around are those same rock bottom locals from the previous episode. But here's the problem. SpongeBob doesn't recognize any of them. Just one season earlier, these were supposedly his friends. Now it's like they've never met. It gets worse. When SpongeBob tries to serve regular Krabby Patties, the customers spit them out and accuse him of trying to poison them. They want ghost burgers instead, these black and smoke-filled things. Then a fisherman bursts in with a net and hook. Everyone screams. SpongeBob fights him off like a hero, only to find out this isn't a real robbery. It happened happens every night. It's part of the show. By sunrise, the whole night crew vanishes into fog. Mr. Krabs shows up like nothing happened. When SpongeBob asks about the night shift, Krabs laughs and says, "We don't have a night shift." Then comes the narrator. Mr. SquarePants will never know he worked a shift in the title zone. This wasn't just the Krusty Krab at night, it was a fake version of SpongeBob's world. And that Patrick who was with him, not the real Patrick either. The title zone first showed up in an episode called No Pictures Please. It's basically Bikini Bottom's version of the Twilight Zone, a place where normal rules don't apply. Here's what's really weird. Every time someone ends up in one of these fake realities, they get there the same way. Public transportation, a bus, a train, something that's supposed to take them from point A to point B, but doesn't. Season 1, rock bottom, wrong bus. Out of the picture, bus straight to rock bottom. No pictures, please? Tourist arrives on a bus. Night Patty, night train shows up with rock bottom locals. It's like these buses and trains are portals between the real Bikini Bottom and these twisted copies. Which makes you wonder, what if Season 1's rock bottom wasn't real either? What if SpongeBob never made it back from that first bus ride? Season 12 seemed to answer that question. In SpongeBob's birthday episode, guess who shows up at the party? The anglerfish from Season 1, not as a background character, but as an actual guest. In SpongeBob's house, eating cake, laughing with everyone else. If the anglerfish was invited to SpongeBob's birthday party, that means they know each other. That means they have some kind of relationship beyond that scary night in Season 1. For the first time, it felt like we were seeing the real version of events. SpongeBob remembers his past, the locals remember him, everything stays consistent. Maybe the rock bottom from Season 10 was real too, just a misunderstood town with a bad reputation, and the Night Patty version was the fake title zone copy. It all made sense until Season 13. In Food Truck, SpongeBob and Squidward aren't accidentally stranded. Mr. Krabs sends them on a mission: take a food truck to new markets and sell Krabby Patties. After driving around with no customers, they spot rock bottom on their map, and instead of taking some mysterious bus or train, they just drive there, straight down the cliff like it's any other town. Already, that breaks the pattern. But it gets worse. Rock bottom is completely empty. Not quiet abandoned. Dead streets, boarded up buildings, even the graveyard is vacant. Then they spot the anglerfish from Season 1. But every time they get close, he disappears like a ghost. Once, he even turns into jellyfish mid-chase. When they finally catch him, he claims he wasn't calling them, he was just drying his armpit. Just as the anglerfish seems interested in buying a Krabby Patty, a bus crashes into their truck and drops off the entire missing population of rock bottom. Suddenly, the town comes alive. It's some kind of annual festival. Everyone's dancing, having fun, and yes, they love the Krabby Patties. But when night falls, nobody goes home. They all climb into underground coffins and shut the lids. So now the rock bottom residents are what exactly? Alive? Dead? Something in between? And here's the worst part. Neither the anglerfish nor any of the locals recognize SpongeBob. Again, this completely destroys the birthday party theory. If they knew each other in Season 12, how could they not know each other here? So what's really going on? There are a few possibilities. First theory, the title zone is behind everything. Every version of rock bottom we've seen could be a different layer of this reality glitch. Sometimes SpongeBob lands in the real one. Sometimes he slips into a fake copy. That would explain why familiar faces suddenly act like strangers. Second theory, rock bottom sits right on the edge of this reality tear. Every time someone gets close, the rules start bending. That's why buses and trains that go there act like portals. Third theory, and this one's unsettling, SpongeBob never actually left rock bottom in Season 1. That balloon ride didn't take him back to Bikini Bottom, it just carried him deeper into the title zone. Every return to rock bottom isn't a revisit, it's the same trip, continuing in different forms. Or maybe it's just inconsistent writing. SpongeBob's been on the air for decades. Different writers, different approaches, things get mixed up. But when you look at all the patterns and coincidences, it's hard not to think some of this is intentional. Maybe we really have been watching a different version of SpongeBob this whole time, one who never made it home from that first trip to rock bottom.